Jadeja, obviously, so he's injured his knee, but obviously he's ruled out for the Asia Cup. But yeah, he's under the care of the medical team. He's going to see the doctors. He's going to see the experts, and yeah, I mean the World Cup is a fair way away, so we don't want to jump to any conclusions and rule him out or rule him in. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's part of sport. People get injured. It's part of our job to try and manage them, manage how it goes, and a lot will depend on the rehab and the severity of the injury, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, there's no, I don't want to rule him out, or I don't want to, make too many comments until we have a much clearer picture and we have some a better idea, and especially the World Cup's almost 8 weeks away now, or 6 or 7 weeks away from now. I mean, it's obviously a big preparation for us in terms of the World Cup and a very important tournament. Yes, of course. I mean, there are a few key players who are missing from this team, but it's probably true of one or two other teams as well who are probably missing one or two key players, and that can happen. I mean, it doesn't stop us from preparing or using this tournament as a really good opportunity to build and grow our team, for the World Cup. And of course, it gives us the opportunity, I guess, in a lot of ways to look at other players who are potentially vying for spots or who are in contention, and looking for one or two spots and to see how they perform, and gives other people some opportunities as well. And then, of course, we know that once hopefully guys like Bumrah and Harshal and Jadeja and stuff, if they're back, then as and when we can respond to that and we can react to that. But if for some reason, unfortunately, they have to miss out, then we've developed some other players and we've tried to build a backup and we've tried to build a group, and that's really been our endeavor right through the whole the last whatever months that we've been in here. Is they're trying to just build a little bit bigger pool of players, a bigger group of players that can step in, because as we've seen, in times like this, obviously with the kind of challenges we've had with COVID as well, and with injuries. You've got to have backups. You've got to have people who can step in any given situation. If possible, you've got to try and create those kind of squads. And when people miss out to injury, it gives us a chance to build that squad and grow that squad. Of course, we'd love to have our guys with the experience and our best players playing all the time, but it might not happen. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say off spinners. They aren't. I mean, obviously we're lucky to have one of the world's best in our side. So we've obviously got someone in our squad, in our larger squad, who's in terms of Ash, who's probably one of the best in the world, and we're lucky to have that. But yes, I mean, I don't think there are too many. I thought the off spinner from Hong Kong bowled brilliantly against us. He bowled up front, and then he bowled a couple of overs at the death. So I thought he had a really good game. But yeah, you're right. Not many people are playing the off spinners. They're going to prefer sort of leg spinners. Wrist spinners have obviously become very valuable in the T20 format for obvious reasons. The fact that they can spin it both ways, doesn't expose them to the left-handers or the right-handers as much as, say, the finger spinners do. And yeah, maybe it's just a cycle, maybe it's just a phase, but certainly, I mean, I'm trying to think around. I mean, I think Sri Lanka's got, Bangladesh plays Mehdi Hassan a little bit around the squads. Not really. We played the West Indies recently. They didn't have an off spinner. England, Moeen Ali plays a little bit for them. So there are a few around. It's not that they're completely gone and disappeared. But we've got one, and hopefully we're lucky if we need to play him. We know that we've got the quality, and anytime we know someone like Ash can step in if required. No, I think the key here is to is I think we're well prepared. We've really prepared our team well. We've looked to manage all the workload that we possibly can. We are not using this tournament unless, of course, there's an injury or there's a niggle or someone needs to be kept out. We've always come here wanting to play our best possible squad or the best possible 11 that we can select. So next 4 games as well, depending on who's available, and we will be looking to play our best sides. There's not going to be any workload management over the next 3 or 4 days, unless, of course, it's forced upon us, like, for example, Jadeja. Other than that, no, we're looking to play every single game to win it and try and win this tournament and do the best that we can. And we'll have time after that to manage the workloads. And, from now on in, I think leading into the World Cup, we really want to be playing our best squad as and when possible. देखिए एक अच्छा जैसे हम कहते हैं अच्छा एक प्लेजेंट हेडेक टू हैव. जैसे आपने सही कहा, हम लोगों ने पूरी कोशिश की है डेप्थ इंक्रीज़ करने की हर पोजीशंस के लिए। शायद एक बैकअप अगर हम कर सकते हैं तो हर पोजीशन के लिए बैकअप होना चाहिए हम हमारे पास, क्योंकि किसी को भी इंजरी हो सकती है या तो हम लोगों ने पूरी कोशिश की उसके बारे में। और सही आपने ज़रूर कहा कि कुछ ऐसे लड़के हैं यहाँ पे जो हमारे 15 में नहीं है यहाँ पे, या इस टीम में नहीं है, जिन्होंने बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस किया है हमारे लिए, बहुत टीम के लिए भी खेला है, बहुत अहम रोल निभाया है हर साल में। पर वो लोग भी जानते हैं कि सिर्फ 15 लोग खेल सकते हैं और 15 लोग ही जा सकते हैं वर्ल्ड कप के लिए। तो फिर हमारा दायित्व बनता है, हम कम्युनिकेट करते हैं उनके साथ, हम उनको जितना हम एक्सप्लेन कर सके हैं। जैसे आपने सही कहा कि हर चीज़ में हम सबको आप खुश नहीं रख सकते, क्योंकि सिर्फ 15 लोग खेल सकते हैं और या 15 लोग वो वर्ल्ड कप स्क्वाड में रहेंगे। और कुछ लड़के ऐसे मिस होंगे जिनको आपको ये कहना पड़ता है कि आप ये आपके परफॉर्मेंस के ऊपर नहीं, आपने जो आपको मौके दिए गए, या आपको जो आपको जब आपने खेला, आपने अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस किया, पर टीम के कॉम्बिनेशन में या कोई और था जिसने आप जो सीनियर है या अच्छा कर रहा है ऑलरेडी, उसने परफॉर्मेंस की है, तो उसको भी हम निगलेक्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं। तो कभी कभी ऐसा ज़रूर होता है, हमको डिफ़िकल्ट कॉन्वर्जेशंस, हम लोग, मैं प्लेयरों का नाम नहीं लूँगा, पर इसमें जो 15 लड़के हम लोगों ने सेलेक्ट किया, उससे 5-6 लोगों के साथ जो मैंने जो डिस्कशंस करने, आई हैव हैड सम डिस्कशंस विद देम. Certainly they have been not easy ones, because they have also performed, they have also done very well, and you have to respect that. But I think players also understand. I think players also are wise enough to understand that only 15 players can play, or even in a playing 11, when we select a playing 11 like this, I mean, we've got some real quality who sit out even in these games. We might play the batsman who's sitting out, or we might play two spinners, and the two spinners who sit out are also quality and have performed whenever they get a chance. So yeah, it's just up to us to make those communications and be as clear as we possibly can. No. I mean, we are here to play the Asia Cup. We are absolutely focused on trying to play these conditions and do this. And the whole purpose of trying to build a balanced squad, or a squad that is actually should be able to play in all kinds of conditions. You should have players in your 15 that, irrespective of the conditions, you've got to try and be able to play the best 11. So, I think that's the effort to build the kind of squad that we have, is that we want to build a squad that can play on any kind of conditions. So yeah, we may succeed, we might succeed in every area, one or two areas. I think you always might not get the perfect you might not get the perfect selection of skills in your 15, but the effort is always there to get most bases covered. And that's what we're trying to do. But here, I mean, no, we're looking at tomorrow's game specifically at the Dubai Cricket Stadium, and looking at those conditions. What is the kind of team we need to pick? We're not, obviously at the back of your mind, you've got Australia, but no, the focus is purely on tomorrow and trying to do well tomorrow. मैं ठीक है, उनकी बॉलिंग ने भी अच्छी बॉलिंग की थी, मैं नहीं मानूंगा. ऑफ कोर्स दे आर वेरी गुड बॉलिंग साइड, एंड उन्होंने अच्छी बॉलिंग की थी, पर हम लोगों ने भी उनको 147 तक रिस्ट्रिक्ट करने के लिए भी काफ़ी अच्छी बॉलिंग की थी. तो मैं मानूंगा कि हाँ, नंबर में कभी कभी दिखेगा कि 145 किसी ने डाला है या 147 किसी ने डाला है, पर एंड ऑफ द डे बॉलिंग एनालिसिस इज़ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग. अगर आप 135 पे डाल रहे हो या 145 पे डाल रहे हो या 125 पे डाल रहे हो, स्विंग कर रहे हो, नहीं स्विंग कर रहे हो, स्किल्स, इट्स यू आर जज्ड बाय द रिजल्ट्स यू प्रोड्यूस. एंड bowling analysis of our fast bowlers was also pretty good. So, I would not, I would respect their bowling, certainly, but I'm very confident that we have a very good bowling attack as well, that produces results. Might not be as, no, I wanted to use a word, but I can't use that word. Might not be very, the word I wanted is coming out of my mind, but I can't use it here. So, but yeah, anyway, yeah, so the point I'm trying to make is that, yeah, not exuberant, no, that's no one. It's a little bit, it's 4 letters, start with S, but it's okay. No, might not look very glamorous, but certainly in terms of production of results, we've got some guys who produce the results. Avesh has just been feeling a little bit unwell. Just been under the weather and a little bit of fever and stuff. And again, the doctor we've got is managing him. So he's not at practice today. But hopefully it's not too serious and it should be okay for tomorrow or at least the later part of the tournament. No, again, there's no. Again, we play the situations, we play the conditions, we play the opposition, what we feel on the day. So there's no such a thing as a first choice playing 11, or we've said that only this is the first 11 and this is the 11 we'll play for every single game, every single condition. So that will vary. That will change according to the situation. On that day against Pakistan, on the first, we felt that Dinesh was the right choice for us. And like I said earlier to an earlier question, it's always going to be difficult to leave out anyone. I mean, we play Rishabh and leave out DK, then there are going to be a lot of people upset with that. And we play somebody else, there are going to be people upset with that. So we can't rely on that, and we're not. We honestly don't pay much attention to that. We focus on just trying to pick what we think is the best 11, and with the intelligence that we have in our group, we're pretty confident that we take all of those things into consideration and have a little bit of a squad culture in our side, in the sense that we believe that we've got a really good squad of 15, and anyone in that 11 based on the combinations can play. And sometimes good players will miss out, and players that people feel should play will miss out, but that's just the way it is. देखिए, पहली बात जो है, जब प्लेयर और कोचेस के बीच में जो बातें होती है, वो मैं आके मीडिया में तो बात में नहीं करूँगा। तो वो जाहिर बात है, वो कोई कोच नहीं कहेगा, वो कोई कोच नहीं करेगा ऐसा। वो जो पर्सनल चीज़ें होती हैं वो ऑलवेज होती हैं। हम ये भी बात कर रहे थे कि खाना वाना कहाँ अच्छा मिल रहा है दुबई में। उनको बहुत अच्छे रेस्टोरेंट्स भी पता है यहाँ के, तो मेरे को थोड़ा वो भी एडवाइस कर रहे थे कि इधर जाओ उधर जाओ। पर उनकी परफॉर्मेंस से बहुत, मतलब लास्ट मैच में बहुत अच्छा खेले और काफ़ी खुश हैं। वो भी आ रहे हैं 1 महीने के बाद, मतलब थोड़ा ब्रेक में भी आ रहे हैं। तो it's nice to see that he's come back fresh, and he's really looking forward to playing every game. Not that he wasn't looking forward to playing sometimes with Virat. I think he's just one of those guys who's always on. So it's not that earlier he was not, but it's just nice. I'm glad he's had the opportunity to have the break and just come back refreshed and relaxed. And it's good he's got a chance to bat in the middle and play a couple of games where he's got time to spend in the middle. And hopefully from here on in, he can kick on and have a really good tournament. And for us, it's not really about looking at how many runs he makes. And I know that especially with Virat, people get a little bit obsessed with his statistics and his numbers and his thing. For us, it's not really about that. It's just about the contributions he can make at different phases in a game, and what the contribution is. It doesn't have to be 50s or 100s or a stat for us. There's even small contributions mean a lot in 2020 cricket and for our team, and what is the role required, and what does the team need. And Virat's someone who's pretty keen on really putting in big performances. So yeah, I'm really glad he's playing really well, and hopefully he can keep doing that in the rest of the tournament. I'm not really experimenting. I don't know why people feel we're experimenting. I mean, like, if people get injured, then I have to, try out other guys and play other people. And at times when conditions dictate us to play different players or to play things, I think we're just smart enough to be able to do that. Certain oppositions force us to play slightly different combinations or use different skill sets to be able to beat them. Then we do that. But we're not really actively going out and thinking of this as some kind of experiments. Of course, over the course of the last 6-8 months, we've had to talk about whether it's been workload management or whether it's been due to injuries and illnesses. We've had to rotate players. We've had to look at an opportunity to try and build that bench strength. But yeah, for us, I think we came here thinking that the Asia Cup would be the kind of the final piece for us, and we would, from here we would have our squad. Obviously, things have, we have to react, right? Sometimes people are injured. Bumrah's not here, Harshal's not here. Jadu's obviously got injured after the first game. So then this might not be exactly our same squad that would go to the World Cup, right? Because if Bumrah's fit, then he certainly is a walk-in for us. As is Harshal as well. So so I think we just have to play with the kind of squad that we have at the moment, and we're not experimenting too much, but we're kind of very clear about the kind of team and squad we want. Yeah, I think everyone's bought into it. We've talked about playing positive cricket and playing that, but also being smart as well as being positive. I think sometimes you've got to also ensure that I think it's not so much about it's about ensuring that you sort of get par plus scores depending on what the par is on that particular wicket and in those conditions. I think that's really important. We don't want to be we at least don't want to be the team that falls below par in particular games, and that par can change, right? On a wicket that's very flat and a small boundaries, or a par might be 200. On some other wicket, the par might be 150. We've seen some pretty challenging wickets in this tournament, and probably it's not 200-run games that's par in these tournaments. Whatever the conditions that we are faced in front of us, we want to ensure that we are par or par plus. Ideally par plus. You always want to be batting first. You want to be par plus. Of course, when you're chasing, you're chasing a score that's in front of you, irrespective whatever the team sets for you. So you want to be par plus, and honestly, the guys have really bought into it. Everyone's very keen to try and go about that and achieve that. And it's not always we'll succeed, right? It's not always we're going to be able to succeed, but certainly we're looking to be positive and certainly play the kind of cricket that T20 cricket demands today. नहीं, अच्छा होता है ना, कभी कभी आप ये गेम ज़रूर जो होते हैं, मतलब एज अ प्लेयर आप इतना प्रेशर नहीं लेते हैं मैच के ऊपर. हमारे लिए तो ऑब्वियसली एक मैच ही है, हम लोगों को मैच खेलना है. जीतेंगे तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, हारेंगे तो श्रीलंका के अगेंस्ट तो खेलना ही पड़ेगा. ज़िंदगी तो आगे चलती ही रहेगी. तो पर ज़रूर एक मतलब हम लोगों को भी पता है कि अच्छी टीम है पाकिस्तान, बहुत मतलब एक चैलेंजिंग मैच होता है पूरी, मतलब इट विल बी अ पैक्ड स्टेडियम, इट विल बी, सो देयर इज़ ऑलवेज एन एज टू दीज गेम्स, एंड इट्स मतलब बहुत अच्छी बात होती है ऐसे गेम खेलने के लिए, क्योंकि आप ऐसे गेम में आप टेस्ट होते हैं, आपकी टीम टेस्ट होती है, आपके जो कभी कभी एज अ कोच आपके जो कभी सवाल होते हैं आपके टीम के बारे में, उसके आपको आंसर्स मिलते हैं ऐसे मैचेस में, क्योंकि थोड़े हाई प्रेशर गेम्स होते हैं, ऑपोजिशन बहुत अच्छी होती है. जैसे हाँ, भाई साहब ने कहा यहाँ की पाकिस्तान की बॉलिंग तो बहुत अच्छी थी, तो इसलिए हम लोगों को पता है कि एक बहुत बड़ी चैलेंज होगी हमारे लिए और हमको अच्छा खेलना पड़ेगा. तो ऐसे गेम हम ज़्यादा ऐसे मतलब जो हाई प्रेशर गेम होते हैं हम अगर खेलेंगे तो टीम हमारी अच्छी होगी. तो और ऐसे टूर्नामेंट में सब टीम अच्छे होते हैं, और ऐसे टूर्नामेंट्स हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छी बात है वर्ल्ड कप के पहले खेलने के लिए, क्योंकि ऐसे टूर्नामेंट्स में हर गेम बहुत मायने रखते हैं और बहुत मतलब there is a certain amount of pressure, right, trying to win these tournaments, and that gives you a nice little edge when you go into a World Cup, in terms of preparation. देखिए, उन्होंने भी अच्छी बॉलिंग ज़रूर की है हमारे बैट्समैन के खिलाफ, पर हमारे बैट्समैन ने भी बहुत रन किए पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ. रोहित शर्मा हो या विराट कोहली हो, बड़े टूर्नामेंट्स में भी काफ़ी हमारे प्लेयरों ने रन ज़रूर किए पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ. तो हमारे टीम में भी काफ़ी क्वालिटी है, और नसीम शाह ने बहुत अच्छी बॉलिंग की थी लास्ट मैच में. पर हमारा मानना ज़रूर ये है कि हमारे पास अच्छे बल्लेबाज हैं जो उनको काउंटर कर सकते हैं, उनके खिलाफ अच्छा खेल सकते हैं, और जो भी अच्छा खेलेगा उस दिन वो अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस करेगा. कुछ दिन पाकिस्तान के बॉलर अच्छे करेंगे, उनके बैट्समैन भी अच्छे कर सकते हैं, और कुछ दिन हमारे बैट्समैन अच्छा करेंगे. तो ये ऐसी बात नहीं है, हम हमारे ऊपर फोकस करते हैं ज़्यादा, पाकिस्तान के ऊपर, या पाकिस्तान के पास क्या है, उनकी बॉलिंग क्या है, उसके ऊपर ज़्यादा फोकस हम नहीं करते हैं. हमारी जो प्रैक्टिस है, हमारी जो प्रिपरेशन है, अगर हम ये मानते हैं अगर हम अपने प्लेयरों को अच्छी तरीके से प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं और उनको अच्छे स्टेट ऑफ माइंड में ला सकते हैं, तो हम कोई भी हो, पाकिस्तान हो, ऑस्ट्रेलिया हो, इंग्लैंड हो, श्रीलंका हो, बांग्लादेश हो, किसी के साथ भी हम अच्छा कर सकते हैं. I think it was incredible. I'm just watching Surya Kumar Yadav play that innings the other day. It was phenomenal, and I think he's done that, so many times now. And I think that's you're right. I mean, obviously, 2020 as a format जो है उसमें 10 विकेट हैं आपको 20 ओवर के लिए, तो ऑब्वियसली आप ज़्यादा रिस्क ले सकते हैं, आप अलग अलग शॉट्स खेल सकते हैं. तो ऑब्वियसली ये देखने को भी मिलता है. You see more creativity, you see more you see so much audacity at times in the way the players play, and it's marvels. I mean, obviously someone who's not played that much of sort of T20 cricket, just to see the way the game has evolved over the last 10 years, and I think starting in about 2005, I think when it first started in England, 4 or 5, and then the IPL and the other leagues coming up all over the world, just to see the level of skill both in bat and ball, the way the game is evolving and changing is quite phenomenal. And every World Cup to World Cup, you start seeing people with new skills, new tactics, new strategies, with the bat, or whether it's execution of different kinds of slower balls, wide yorkers, execution of those skills is really, I think it's top class. And it's just the more you practice it, the more you play, the better and better you're getting. So yeah, I think the boys are showing some exceptional skills out there.